Let's have a look at some configurations. We're going to configure some VNet and VNet pairing. First thing, I'm going to create a VNet. Creating VNet is important. So I'll go to menu. And then first thing, I'll go to virtual network. And create virtual network. Okay, so I'm configuring from here. It says resource group. I'll create new resource group today. I'll just say create new resource group A. This is my first resource group. So resource group actually have the name of the resource group and then region. Mostly we are selecting the region. So I'm going to select name VNet A. VNet A, I'm going to create East US problem, yeah. Okay. After that, I'll click next. IP address, so this is, we leave it default. This is the IP address space automatically created in here. We'll keep it default. Next. Security side, we do not have to do anything. Leave it default. Next. Remember last week we talked about tags. Tags help us to look at cost analysis, but that's optional. We'll simply click create, review and create. So this is my first VNet I have created. So I have created this one in East US. Now I'm going to create my second VNet. Again, I'll go to virtual network, create. I'm going to take the same resource group, which is resource group A. So that means in the same region, that's fine. Name VNet B. This is my second VNet. I'll click on IP address. You can see that they provide us different IP address range. Before it was 10.0.0.0/16 from that range. Now 10.1.00/16. So I got a different range. So we'll keep this one. In this way, there'll be no overlap, right? That one has one address, this one has another subnet. Security tags, we leave it default. Review plus create. And we click create. Okay, so I have created now second VNet. So I have created VNet A, VNet B. And later on, I'm going to deploy some virtual machines over there. But I'm going to create VNet C as well. I'll go to menu again. Click on virtual network. Create This one I'm going to create new resource group. I'll name it RGB, resource group B. And this one I'm going to select West US, something different. Okay, West US 2, that's fine. Name VNet C. So this is another region. When I select different region, that means it will create the resources on different data centers. On that particular West US, that locations on particular data centers, it will create my resources. IP address. Now let's have a look. We got new subnet now, 10.2.00/16. So first one was 10.0.0.0, second one 10.1.0.0, third one 10.2.0.0. So in this way, if we create different network, it will provide us different subnet. We'll leave it default, click next, next, next. So I'll create now. Now, if I go to my networks, virtual networks, I'll have 3 different networks. VNet A, B, C. VNet A and B, they are in same locations, but they actually had 2 different subnets, separate subnet they have. And VNet C, that's completely different region, West US 2. So this is the scenario so far I got VNet C as well. Cool. Now we're going to create virtual machines in VNet A, right? VM1, VM2, VM3, and VM4. We're going to create 4 VM. Again, I'll go to menu. I click on virtual machine. Click on add virtual machine. I'm creating new virtual machines. I'm going to select resource group A, RGA. VM name will be VM1. And region, this is East US. Availability options, leave it default. If we go down, this is Windows Server 2016. That's fine. If we go down, this is, we leave it default. Username. Username is okay. And password. So you need to put username and password. I'll put confirm password as well. Can I see? No, that's fine. So I got my password. I'll click other things. We have port number 3389. That's open. Licensing, we do not have to do at the moment. Next, disk. Disk, leave it default, click on networking. When you click networking, we're going to select VNet A. Because we choose the resource group A, that's why we automatically VNet A appear. And subnet, see under that VNet you have this subnet, public IP, rest of the things. Click on management. Management, we do not do anything. Advanced, tag, review plus create. So this is the cost for these virtual machines. That's fine. I'll click create. So basically, I'm deploying these virtual machines inside my VNet A. So this one. Now I'm going to create VNet VM2 under this VNet A. So I'll go to my menu, virtual machines, add virtual machines. We're going to select resource group A. Name will be VM2. So this VM also under the same region. Rest of the things leave it default. This is we leave it default. Next. Next. So it selected the same VNet A because we select the same resource group. That's why. Subnet, IP, they're okay. Management, advanced, tag, review plus create. And create. Now I'll go here, virtual machines. This is creating, that's fine. I'm going to create new virtual machines. This is VM3 East US. Next. Now in here, we can select now VNet B, right? This is now in the same regions, but different VNet. And we got the different subnet. And click management, advanced, tag, review and create. Create. So now let's go to our virtual machines. We got 3 now. A third one is coming. Now we'll create the 4th one. Virtual machines. Virtual machines. Now select, this time so we're going to select VRG. Oh, RGB. So now we have a different region. This one will be VM4. If we go down, password, disk, we don't have to do anything at the moment. Networking, VNet C, and you got a different subnet. That's fine. management, advanced, tag, review plus create, and we can create. Okay, so now if I click my virtual machines, I got now 4 VM. And you can see those VM, they have this public IP addresses. Now VM1 and 2, they are part of the same VNet, so they'll be able to communicate with each other. And VM2 and 3, they are actually different VNet, they are connected. So that means different subnet, they are connected. So we need to do some configurations over there. And this is in different region. We need to create gateway, then we'll be able to communicate with VM4. Now I'm going to log in to each of the virtual machines now. So I'll open my VM1 and I'll click connect button. And I click RDP. And I'll download RDP file. Just save that one. And I'm going to log in. Connect. Username Zahid. Password. I got my default password. So same way, I'm going to log into all of the device. Okay, so I got 4 of them now. I'll go to first one. Yes. Make it small. This is my VM1. I'll go to VM2. So this is my VM1 and VM2. So I'm going to look at whether these 2 VM, they are communicating properly or not. So I'll go to right click on this VM1. Then we go to command prompt. And I'll check the IP configurations. I'll say IP config. Just want to see what IP I got. I'll go to VM2 and right click on the start menu, command prompt. And I'll see the IP address. Now you can see that this VM1 and VM2, they are connected with the same VNet. So this one has IP address 10.004 and this is 10.005. Now I'll try to communicate ping 192.160. Oh, this is 10.0.0.5. It's communicating. If I go to the other VM, ping 10.0.0. That is 4. Right? So they're communicating, these 2 VM, because they're in the same subnet. Now, if I, maybe you do not have that VM, right? Second VM. But you can see that because they are part of the same VNet, now they are communicating. Now we'll minimize this one. I'll pick up third VM. This is VM3. Right click on this corner, go to command prompt, and we do IP config. This is my VM3. VM3. But if I try to ping VM3 and see what happened, 10.1.0.4. So it will not work because they're in different VNet. So now it's not working. If I want to ping from here, ping 10.0.0.4, is it 4? Yeah, 4. So it will not work. So we need to configure VNet peering, then it will work. So I'll go to my portal again. I'll go to virtual network. I'll click on VNet A. And in here we have peering. So click on peerings. And then we're going to add. So peering link name, we say VNet A to B. And traffic to remote virtual network, allow default. Traffic forwarded from remote virtual network, allow. So you're just allowing this connectivity. You just need only this one, other things is not required or required actually. Remote virtual network, that is, we can name it VNet A to B, that will be VNet B to A. And virtual network, that will be VNet B. Remote virtual network, this is the name, and this is the virtual network. Yes, that's the remote virtual network. Cool, because I'm in VNet A, so that's the remote one. So once I select all these things, right, we said name, allow. So for local one, you just need to have a name. Remote one, you can have a name. Additionally, you just need to select remote network. Go down, click add. Now actually from both sides, from VNet A, it's creating one peering, and from VNet B, it's creating another peering. So two peering is creating from two different directions. So you see, it's connected, VNet A to B. If I go to VNet B, it says connected. So that's fantastic. Gateway is not required in here because it's two switch, we are just connecting, it's like that. So once our peering is done, then we can check. Go to VM1, go to VM2. Now in here, we'd like to ping now. Look at that, it's working now. Okay, now both side peering is working. So now our scenario is we can ping from VM1 to VM2 and also VM1 to VM3 as well, and VM3 to 2 and 1. So this part is working now. Now we're going to look at from this gateway to that gateway to VNet C. So this is So I need these two VM for testing purposes. I need VM3 and I need VM4. Okay. So I got VM3. And I'm going to pick up VM4. Now, this one, ping 10.00, that is the IP 10.005, 10.005. So it will not work because they are in different region. So I'm in VM2. I should be in VM3. Yeah, 10.1.0.4. So 1.0.4. So I'm just trying to communicate with VM3, but it will not work because they are in two different regions. Now, so now what we have to do, because they're in different region, we need to have a gateway. Okay, we're going to create gateway and connect our switch or VNet with that gateway. After that, we'll be able to create the peering or two sites connections. Let's go to portal. So we search for virtual network gateway. We need a virtual network gateway. And create virtual network gateway. Name gateway okay, gateway 1. Just we put a name gateway 1. It's taking, yeah, it took that one. Now I need to select region. So my first region was, so if I select East US, I got the VPN gateway type, VPN route based, that's fine. And other one was West US 2, right? So this is the two locations. Public IP address, before that, we need to have a network. So I'm going to select VNet B. So I got the subnet, that's fine. Public IP address names, it's just my public IP. This is just a name. Click next. Go previous. So we just need to have a name, correct locations. If we choose the correct locations, then we'll get this correct subnet and correct, virtual network. And for this network, we are just creating this gateway, virtual network gateway. We click review plus create. And say create. After that, I'm going to create another one, virtual network gateway. Create virtual network gateway. This one is gateway 2. That should be West US 2. So we'll find VNet C. If we select the correct region, and then this is the subnet public IP. We just need to have a name, my pub IP, and yep. Okay, so similar way, we need to select the correct gateway and correct virtual network and region, and click review plus create and create. So this too is creating. So this section is going to talk about VPN Gateway Connections. So we're going to talk about VPN gateways, implement site-to-site VPN connections, create the gateway subnet, VPN gateway configuration, VPN gateway types, gateway SKU, and generation. Create the local network gateway, configure the on-premises VPN device, create the VPN connections, high availability scenarios. So these topics we're going to look at now. Now VPN gateways. So site-to-site connections connect on-premises data centers to Azure Virtual Network. We need a VPN gateway. So this is same as routers. Network to network connections. We need this gateway. Point to site connections. Point to site means, let's say this is your sites, and from on-premises anywhere you'd like to connect Azure Virtual Network, we need this VPN gateway. This is same as like a router. Now, implement site-to-site VPN connections. Take time to carefully plan your network configurations. The on-premises part is necessary only if you are configuring site-to-site. Always verify and test your connection. So Azure side, we need to create VNets and subnets, specify the DNS. This is optional. Create the gateway subnet, create the VPN gateway. Create the local network gateway. So these things need to be done in Azure. Now, currently we have VNets and subnets. We have a default DNS. We have the gateway subnets, and we are creating the VPN gateway. So only thing, if we'd like to connect with on-premises, we need to create local network gateway. And on-premises, you need to configure VPN device such as Ubiquiti, Fortinet gateway. So those kind of devices, they support this on-premises VPN services. And after that, in Azure, we need to create the VPN connections. Now create the gateway subnet. The gateway subnet contains the IP addresses. If possible, use a CIDR block /28 or /27. So when you create a gateway subnet, or in our case, when we created our VPN, this virtual network gateway, that time actually is creating one of the gateway subnet as well. Gateway subnet is kind of like your IP address for your routers. So that gateway, it will have IP address. Because gateway need only like, one IP address. That's why it could be /28 or /27 from that range or block. So when you create your gateway subnet, gateway VMs are deployed to the gateway subnet and configured with the required VPN gateway settings. Never deploy other resources to gateway subnet. That means gateway subnet is dedicated for gateway only. Avoid associating a NSG with the gateway subnet. NSG is a um, network security group that is kind of access control list, which we should not allow. For example, if I go here, if I go to my virtual machines, so that's gateway. Actually, it will take maybe half an hour. It takes time, half an hour to 45 minutes to create one gateway. So usually it takes time. If I go to my virtual machines, if I click on networking, I can see the network security group. This is NSG, network security group. And we got some default rules configurations. RDP should be allowed, and that's how we can connect via VPN. We download the RDP VPN connections, and then that's how we connect. We do the remote desktop because this port is open. Right. So that NSG rules we should not apply to our gateway subnet. Now, VPN gateway configurations, most VPN types are route-based. Your choice of gateway SKU affects the number of connections you can have and the aggregate throughput benchmark. SKU means software kit unit. You can simply think about like plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, like that. So we have SKU, it's kind of like VPN Gateway 1, plan 1. So associate a virtual network that includes the gateway subnet. The gateway needs a public IP, right? And it can take up to 45 minutes to provision the VPN gateway. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It takes about 45 minutes. Now, VPN gateway types, we have route-based VPNs and policy-based VPNs. Route-based VPNs use routes in the IP forwarding or routing table to direct the packets. Supports for IKE version 2 can use dynamic routing protocols. And policy-based VPNs, it encrypts and directs packets through IPsec tunnels based on the IPsec policies. Support for IKE version 1 only legacy on-premises VPN devices. So this is route-based and this is policy-based. So most VPN gateway configurations require a route-based VPN. So majority of the cases, we are simply using route-based, but you have the options. If you'd like to encrypt any stuff, you can use this one. VPN SKU and generation. So when you select this one, it can provide you maximum 30 site-to-site and VNet to VNet tunnels. The VPN Gateway 1, it supports maximum 250 point-to-site IKE version 2 connections and throughput 650 Mbps. But if you select VPN Gateway 2, it supports maximum 30, you can see maximum 500 point-to-site connections, 1 Gbps speed. If you select VPN Gateway 2, that one, maximum 30, maximum 500, 1.25 GB. You can see based on the VPN SKU, you get up to 5 gigabit per second speed. So we'll be able to select this SKU when you configure this gateway. So gateway SKU affects the connections and the throughput. Resizing is allowed within the generations. The basic SKU is legacy and it should not be used. Now create the local network gateway. Defines the on-premises network configurations. Give the site a name by which Azure can refer to. The local gateway needs a public IP address. And specify the IP address prefixes that will be routed through the gateway to the VPN. So this is for the local network gateway. When you need a local network gateway, if we go back to our pictures, if you want to connect your Azure network with your on-premises VPN, then you need another one we need to create in here that is called local network gateway. Local network gateway. So local network gateway, we have name, public IP address for the local routers, and also local routers, local routers. This is the local IP address, private IP address for the on-premises LAN. We have other options as well in case if you have a BGP configurations, that options we have here as well. But simply we have the name, public IP, and local IP for the local network. After that, we need to configure on-premises VPN device. On-premises VPN device, such as Cisco, Juniper, Ubiquiti, Barracuda networks, they have this on-premises VPN, which is compatible with Azure Cloud or AWS Cloud as well. So this is Gateway Connections. This is your virtual network. A VPN device configurations script may be available. Remember the shared key for the Azure connections. Specify the public IP address. So these things we need to configure in the local device. Yeah, on premises. After that, once you have done that, then create the VPN connections. Once your VPN gateway is created and the on-premises device is configured, create a connection object. Configure a name for the connections and specify the type of site-to-site, which is IPsec. Select the VPN gateway and the local network gateway. Enter the shared key for the connection. So Azure to on-premises, we need to select site-to-site. Then this is the Azure virtual network gateway, and this is the local network gateway informations. When you select this one, it will automatically ask the local device informations. It will pop up over there. Once you select, then you can put a password. So this password need to match with local, network device password. Now, high availability scenarios. We have VPN gateways are deployed as 2 instances. So Azure VPN Gateway active and this is standby, and on-premises VPN 1. But enable active mode for higher availability. You can have on-premises VPN 1, on-premises VPN 2. In the Azure VPN Gateway, we can have VM1 and VM2. In this way, we can have multiple connections. If one connection down, still we have another connections. So these options we have. So let's have a look. Oh, this is done. Cool. Now, once it's done, now we're going to configure. So I will select from search menu, virtual network gateways. Now I got gateway 1 and gateway 2. I'll select my first gateway. Before that, I'll just double check each device 2. Cool. Virtual network gateways. Okay. I'll pick up now gateway 1, which is related with VNet B. And I'll go down. Click on connections. And then add. We name it VNet B to C. VNet B to C. Okay. Connection type, that's what you can select a few different ways you can connect. VNet to VNet, side to side, which is IPsec connectivity, and express out. So you got multiple types. In our case, we're going to use VNet to VNet. Express out, we're going to discuss soon, but at the moment, we're going to use VNet to VNet. And first gateway, which is my gateway 1, and second gateway, I need to choose. That's like a remote gateway. So if I click, I can see the remote gateway is gateway 2. After that password, I'll just put capital R at UTE999. This is our default password. So these things you don't have to do anything. It will use IKE version 2 protocol, which is a secure protocol. And I'll simply click OK. So it will take a bit of time and it will do it. I'll go to gateway 2 and I'll do similar sort of configurations. Connections, add VNet C to P. So VNet to VNet connectivity, gateway 2, second virtual network. This is gateway 1. Password should be same. Remaining stuff, so leave it default and click OK. Okay, it's creating, so they'll take a bit of time. Let's go back to our sections. Now, these sections we're going to discuss express route and virtual WAN. Express route and virtual WAN. In here, we're going to discuss express route capabilities, coexisting side-to-side and express route, inter-site connection comparisons, and virtual WANs. These topics we're going to look at now. Express route. Express route is a private connections between your on-premises network and Microsoft data centers. And connections do not go over the public network. It's a partner network. And public internet is a partner network. It will go via partner network. Secure, reliable, low latency, high-speed connections. Express route is kind of another VPN types of connections. It will be provided by ISP. Let's say you have on-premises network, and you have something on the cloud, such as Office 365 or some virtual net or application or something like that. So you can create side-to-side VPN by yourself, or you can get the connections from ISP. For example, Telstra, Optus. So those ISP, they provide this kind of express route connections. So from your office to Microsoft Cloud Network, they provide this express route. So it's mostly available in the metropolitan areas. For example, if you have office in Sydney or Melbourne and CBD, and if you want to have a connection from your office to Microsoft Azure Cloud. So Azure Cloud, so Microsoft data centers, they are actually in Sydney and Melbourne, we have the data centers. So if you select the data centers in here or any parts of the world, that's also okay. From your office to their cloud, they can provide you express route connections. Advantage is reliable connections, secured connections. You can get a high-speed connectivity. So express route capabilities, layer 3 connectivity with redundancy, connectivity to all regions with a geography, global connectivity with express route premium add-on, across on-premises connectivity with express route global reach. Bandwidth options, 50 Mbps to 100 Gbps. Billing models, unlimited, metered, or premium. So few different billing models we have. And you can see that you can get a high-speed connectivity to your resources in the cloud. So coexisting side-to-side VPN and express route, they're saying that you can have side-to-side VPN plus you can have additional express route. So you can have two connections. In this way, it's kind of like failover. If one down, another one will work. So use side-to-side VPN as a secure failover path for express route. Use side-to-side VPNs to connect to sites that are not connected with express route. Notice two VNet gateways for the same virtual network. So we have express route connected with on-premises. Then from on-premises, we have IPsec tunnel. And we have another IPsec tunnel from another on-premises office to this gateway. So one gateway, it can connect with multiple locations. Now, intersite connections comparison. Connections types, virtual network, point to site. Azure services supported, Azure infrastructure as a services, Azure virtual machines, based on the gateway SKU. Protocols, active, passive. Typical use case, DevOps, test and lab environments for cloud services and virtual machines. So virtual network, site to site, Azure infrastructures as a services, Azure virtual machines, and bandwidth typically less than 1 Gbps aggregate. Protocols, active, passive, active, active. Typical use case, you have dev, test and lab environments, small scale productions, workloads, and virtual machines. So you can see that point to site means that's like a remote access VPN. Many people, they're accessing the resources from the cloud. That's point to site. And this is site to site, one office to another office. And express out, Azure infrastructure as a service and platform as a service, Microsoft Office 365 services. Bandwidth 50 to 100 Gbps. Active, active, enterprise class and mission critical workloads, big data solutions. For that purposes, we can use express route. So these are the connectivity types we have. Now, virtual wide area network. Bring together side to side, point to side, and express out integrated connectivity using a hub and spoke connections model. Connect virtual networks and workloads to the Azure hub automatically. So visualize the end-to-end flow with Azure, two types, basic and standard. As you can see, you have headquarter, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3. Some people, they're working from home. So everybody, they can connect with this virtual WAN. And all the VNet means many different cloud services can be connected with that one. In this way, so entire um, organizations can be part of this virtual wide area network. So as you can see in the cloud side, virtually we can create different subnet, gateway, routers, so everything we can create from the cloud. We do not need any physical devices when you configure some of the stuff from the cloud. But this on-premises services, they need some physical device in here. But in the cloud, we do not need that one. So let's have a look now. That part is done. So I'll close this one, click refresh. So it should be showing connected. Yes, both VNet B and C and C2B, that both they are connected. So if I go to gateway 1, it's all connected. So once it's connected, now if I go to my VM3 and VM4, if I want to connect with that one, look at that, it's working now. If I want to connect current with this one, it's getting slow. Oh, not 4, this is some 2 network. That's fine. So this is 10.2.0.4. So I'll go 10.0. Sorry, 10.2.0.4. That's done. So it's connecting. So you can communicate with this one, and from that one, you can communicate back to this 10.1.0.4. So 10.1.0.4, this is actually from VNet B. I'll just double check the IP config. Yeah, 10.1.0. Yeah, that's correct. I can connect with 10.1.0.4. That's fine. So that part is good. But if I'd like to ping, VM1, pick up VM1. VM1 is 10.0.0.4. Look at that, it's not working because that's in different VNet. So if I go to my pictures, now this VM4 is communicating with VM3, but VM4 cannot communicate with VM1 or VM2 in here. So we need to do a bit of configurations in VNet A and VNet B. We need to tell VNet A that traffic should use the remote gateway. And from the remote gateway, we need to say we're going to allow remote connections from here. So these 2 configurations we need to do. I'll go to my gateway. So this is gateway 1. You go to connections. connections B2C. Okay, so this is actually VNet configuration. So I'll go here. I'll go to my virtual network. So that's actually, we need to configure in VNet. Go to VNet B. We go to peering, VNet B to A. We need to say use this virtual network gateway. So use this virtual network gateway. So VNet B is actually connected with the virtual network gateway. So that's what we are saying from here, that you need to use the virtual network gateway. Save this one. Then other options will work. So I'm in VNet B and I'm saying other remote connectivity will allow from here. It can connect with gateway. Now I'll go to VNet A. I'll go to peering, VNet A to B. Now I'm going to say use the remote virtual network gateway. So that remote virtual network gateway is stick with VNet B. So now if I say this one, VNet A will go to VNet B, and from VNet B it will go to virtual network gateway. Save this one. It's working. So we said basically from VNet B to use the gateway, and VNet A, we said just use the gateway which is attached with VNet B. It's working now. Okay, it's done. Cool. Now we should be able to communicate. If I go to my VM4, if I go to my VM1 from VNet 4, should be able to ping. Still it's not working. Okay. So if I do that one, that's actually 10.2.ping 10.2.0.4. Yeah, it's communicating. 10.004 is communicating. Past two ping failed, but now it's working fine. So I'll be able to pick any number. If I want to ping VM2, that is 10.005. So now I can ping all of them. Ping 10.1.0.4, that VM3. So I can ping VM1, VM2, VM3, all of them. So that's pretty much the networking. So now we can see that from here, from this VM4, which is located in different region, I can ping all the way here and all the way there. Right, so these options we need to remember. So in this way, you can establish the connectivity. And for the local network, if you'd like to establish the connectivity with the local network, you need to have a local device need to connect configure. So local device means that could be that Barracuda, Ubiquiti, or Cisco, Juniper, those kind of device who support this VPN gateway in the cloud. So those kind of device you need to configure in here. And cloud side, we need to configure local network gateway. So local network gateway is another services. If I select local network gateway, I'll find local network gateway. I'll create local network gateway. I need to have a name. I'll just say local network gateway. Public IP address of your local gateway. So that's IP address is, for example, 20.1.1.1. We just make up one public IP address. That is actually the next hop IP address, which is local network device. That's IP address, public IP. And address space, this is, for example, 192.168.3.0/24. This is on-premises LAN IP, LAN network IP. Subscriptions is this one. Resource group is related with RGB, so that means it will be related with East US. So our VNet B, or yeah, that is actually East US, correct? So this will be East US too. Right, so in this way we can attach a local network gateway, local network gateway in this way and create. So cloud side, these are the steps you need to do, but on premises, that network device need to set up as well. It's pretty similar. That will have web portal, and you're going to configure pretty similar steps. Yeah, that's your local network gateway. Connections. So when you click add connections, we need to name VNet B to local. This is side-to-side virtual private network gateway. We got our network gateway, that's fine. Local network gateway. Azure virtual network, that will be used by these connections. Yeah, that's fine. Local network gateway. The connections for this local network gateway is being added. Choose this one. Yeah, this part is. So this one, you'll find that local network informations. So this is the connections for this local network gateway is being added, but we can't see anything at the moment. But you can create, but once you create on the other side, it will show you just connected. It may take a bit of time, but once it's done, it will show the connections type unknown, because other side, it's not done yet. We need to local unknown, but it's side-to-side IPsec connection. So pretty much IPsec configurations need to be done from the other side. So pretty much, so these sort of things we do in our networking part.